I just read the PTS a little bit earlier, and I saw that on the PTS they're reverting the change to Vampire Stage 3 or the Undeath passive back to Stage 3 only, and it will be the maximum of 15% damage reduction. And so I made a video before saying how this was the change that they were going to do in making Undeath a Stage 1 passive and making it a 10% maximum damage reduction. At only Stage 1 was going to be a buff for me because I had stopped playing Stage 3 on at the time, my two, this character and this character. I had stopped playing Stage 3 because I just didn't want to pay that extra skill cost, basically. And I just wanted to still roleplay these characters as vampires. And I would plan to do the same with this one, but I probably just do Stage 4 with her. But so it was going to be a buff for me. And unfortunately, they decided to change that now. Now it's Stage 3 again. I'm not playing Stage 3. I'm not doing it. So now I am back to saying what I had said probably multiple years ago now. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was, but it's going to be at least probably 2 years. I'm just going to say 2 years. It could be more than that. 2 years ago when I said that there is basically no benefit to playing at Stage 1 at all. You're really just gimping yourself. Now you could argue that there's still benefit to playing Stage 2, but for me, especially seeing how on this character and on my Nightblade, the first one, I don't use a lot of vampire skills, and even if I did, it wouldn't really be worth the penalties that comes with I'm trying to find the vampire skill line. The penalties that come with being a vampire. So at Stage 1, you already get your gimp, your health recovery gimped even more than you do in with the battle spirit passive. You already take another hit to your health recovery. You take 8% additional flame damage, 5% regular additional skill cost, and you get 6% less vampire ability cost. But you take that 8%, so basically you have the equivalent of New Moon with the 5% additional skill cost, and you also take additional 8% damage. Now, what sane person, I'm not exactly sane, I guess, but what sane person thinks this is a good trade-off for Stage 1? Why do we treat Stage 1 like it's just something that you completely bypass and just go straight to Stage 2 or 3? Now, let's go through some of the passives. Okay, at Stage 1, I guess you get to ignore the movement penalty, movement speed penalty of Sneak. But this is for Nightblades. For the most part, the whole vampire skill line serves as I've said this before too, is basically just it's just like a DLC for the Nightblade class. It's not exactly DLC, it's just a metaphor. It's basically just a way to buff the Nightblade class. These are all Nightblade passives. Okay, so you enter Sneak quicker, you ignore the movement speed penalty of Sneak. I don't sneak around much on the Necromancer, you know. That's just not what I do. And so go to Stage 2 though, you get strike from the shadows passive. You get additional damage again when you leave Sneak or Invisibility. Nightblade passives. You don't do much sneaking or invisibility on any class other than a Nightblade. And what it should be though, if you're going to have a strike from the shadows passive, it should only be for misform. When you leave misform, your weapon and spell damage is increased. So then they're forcing you to use vampire skills. Then that will make sense, and it's not just only a way to buff Nightblades. And I'm kind of disappointed that the devs are not thinking of these things on their own. And so, undeath passive, stage 3 or higher, now you're going to get maximum 15% damage reduction. Well, that is better than 30% is busted. Let's just get that out of the way. I'm going to have a better chance to clinch more kills on people in the next update, because they will be a little bit squishier at low health, because pretty much everybody's running undeath right now, 30% damage reduction. But let's just say at stage 3, you are getting minus 60% health recovery, 20% additional flame damage, 12% regular ability cost, and actually no, 8%. I'm sorry, I didn't see that 3% over there. So 8% additional ability cost. That's not going to be worth 10 or 15% damage reduction. It's not going to be worth it. But at the same time, if you're going to play vampire at all, why wouldn't you just go to stage 3? Because you get all these penalties at stage 1, and you get no benefits at stage 1. Unless you're a Nightblade, you just enter sneak faster or enter stealth faster. That's the only benefit that you get at stage 1. So why on earth would I want to play a vampire at all? I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of troubled by the changes that they're making, because I don't know. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but things are not making sense to me, and I feel like things are changing for the worse. People who at least made maybe slightly better decisions in the past are making beneficial changes for certain classes only and also making other decisions in the game that just don't make sense. And I don't understand this, and it's troubling. And so I guess while I'm on my Necromancer, let me just point out too that I'm still upset about the change to Blast Bones, and I have tried to get used to using the Stamina Morph, and that doesn't make it any less disappointing, because a lot of the sets that I want to use sometimes on a Necromancer provide benefits like Defile and things like that, but those are things that I can get from Blighted Blast Bones. Those are not things that Stalking Blast Bones gave me, and it would have been better for me to keep the more powerful morph and be able to use those other sets that they can give you Defile as well. And so lately since yesterday actually, I switched to the morph of the Scythe from the Magica morph to the Stamina morph, and I'm going to start using this a little bit more, but because I'm looking for a little bit extra out of it. I'm looking for a better spammable, a class spammable. I cannot use the skulls. I have tried. They are terrible. The speed that not just the speed, but pretty much the speed, and the damage is lackluster. They just don't feel good at all to use. And especially as a melee, I need a better spammable on this character. So I'm leaning on Scythe. I'm trying to go with Scythe, but it feels so underwhelming. Especially on the Magica morph, I'm forced to use a Stamina morph to feel like I'm actually doing something, and even this feels underwhelming. So I really hope the Necromancer can get some changes. We have been putting them forth on the forums for years now, at least a year saying ways that this class can be improved, can be changed. Yes, the major prophecy and major savagery is nice, but let's face it, these skills here are extremely hard to use in PvP. They're extremely hard, and I know because I have been using them, and I've basically been gimping myself by trying to use class skills on this character, and I feel so many times frustrated, like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I trying to use these skills instead of just going with weapon skills or world skills on this character? But I'm trying hard to use what's in the class kit. So that I'm going to bring this video to a close. I don't want to go too long. Thanks for watching, and I hope somehow somebody from ZOS is going to listen to this. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.